Good morning. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the jail and arraignment calendar for October 10th, 2023, Clayton County State Court. This is courtroom 304. I'm going to call the calendar. We'll call the arraignment calendar first. Eddie Conrad Adams Jr., Lister Holton Dennis.
Yes, present.
Who's representing Mr. Eddie Adams?
Sorry.
Oh, you got on mute. Okay.
I'm representing Mr. Adams.
All right. You have an announcement in his case?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Adams is on the calendar for 2 cases. The state has given us a global offer to resolve both. So he will be entering a plea. So I believe I think it's just the guilty on both of the DUI per se, and then I think NOLO on the open containers and then proper lane change.
All right. Mr. Adams, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. So, Mr. Adams, you're before the court on 2 cases, case 2021 CR 04501 for driving under the influence per se and driving under the influence less safe. You're entering a plea of guilty to driving under the influence per se. Count 2 will merge. You're represented by attorney Chelsea Hahn with the law firm of Lister Holt and Dennis. On the next case, 2023 CR 06989, you're before the court for DUI, count 1, DUI less safe, count 2, open container, count 3, state violation, open container, count 4, county violation, and improper lane change. You're entering a plea of DUI to DUI per se. Count 2 will merge. Count 3 will be no pros. Count 4 is a plea of NOLO, and count 5 is a NOLO plea. On this case, you're also represented by Ms. Hahn of the law firm of Lister Holt and Dennis. By entering these pleas to these offenses on each of these cases, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Your Honor. Your Honor, on November the 15th, 2020, officer was dispatched in reference to a vehicle accident where the defendant crashed into another vehicle. Your Honor, the officer indicated that when he arrived at the scene, he made contact with the defendant and he could smell odor of alcohol from the defendant's person. The officer also indicated that he observed defendant eye being glossy and his speech was slurred. The officer then requested whether defendant would undertake a field sobriety test. Defendant refused. The officer then placed defendant in custody and read defendant implied consent to the defendant. Defendant then agreed to a blood draw. Your Honor, the blood draw resulted in blood alcohol content of 0.26. That is the factual basis for case number 2021 CL 04501. Your Honor, the state recommendation for this case will be 12 months to serve 30 days. The balance will be probated. There's going to be a $1,500 fine. There will be a risk reduction program, no drug and alcohol, random screening and testing, 1 victim impact panel. There will be 2 AA per week, 250 hours of community service. Your Honor, that is the recommendation for count 1. Counts 2 will merge. For case number 2023 CL 06989, Your Honor, the factual base for this case, this case occurred on between the intersection of Garden Walk and Riverdale Boulevard. The incident occurred on May 20th, 2023. Your Honor, the officer observed defendant driving a 2003 Ford Fusion. The defendant was swerving in between lanes and slowing down and going fast at the same time. Your Honor, the officer then observed defendant made an entry into a closed business Aldi's parking lot at the Garden Walk Boulevard. The officer then conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant. The officer observed defendant eye was a bloodshot red and glassy, and the officer also indicated that he smelled alcohol from defendant's breath. The officer then asked the defendant whether he will blow the alcohol sensor. The defendant blew the alcohol sensor, and the results indicated that defendant had a blood alcohol content of 0.358. Your Honor, that's the factual basis for that case. The state recommendation will be counts 1 will be 12 months to serve 30 days. The balance will be probated.
Ms. Hahn?
Your Honor, my understanding is that the recommendation was just supposed to just be the DUI recommendation to run both cases concurrent.
No. He's blowing 0.26 and 0.358. That's a good amount of his blood that is just pure alcohol. And he's getting behind the wheel of a car. And these are just the 2 times we caught him. So no, he needs to spend some substantial time with me. So it needs to run consecutive. I don't care, but like he doesn't have to do the 30 days, but once, if that's what y'all agreed on, but he's going to do 24 months of probation at least. You can talk to him again, Mr. Adams. I think they worked out a sweetheart deal for you, but I'm not a sweetheart when it comes to people threatening folks' lives on the highway. You could have killed somebody. I'm surprised you didn't, and it wouldn't have been you. It would have been somebody innocent. So no, sir. You can go back and talk to your lawyer about that. And in fact, I'm even thinking about imposing the condition that you don't drive for the 24 months. Because you seem not to be able to drink and stay in your house. You seem to want to drink and then get on the road. So talk to your lawyer. I'm not taking that. It's got to be consecutive. Huh?
I'll give him a call, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mute your device, Mr. Adams, so I don't hear y'all's call. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Adams, you've been sworn. You're before the court on 2021 CR 04501. 2023 CR 06989, 2 separate cases. You're entering a plea on the first case ending in 04501 of guilty to count 1, count 2 will merge. You're entering a plea on the case ending in 06989 of guilty, count 2 will merge, guilty to count 1, count 2 will merge, count 3 will be no pros, count 4 will be nolo, count 5 will be nolo. Is this the same, Ms. Hahn?
So I understand Your Honor is not willing to accept the just the 12 months probation. The state has offered 30 months probation, so all of the probations to run consecutively. Of course, we would like that, at the most we would like is 24 months, but the state has agreed to 30 months.
All right. So, Ms. Hahn, I understand that you have to zealously fight for your clients, but what I have to balance is the rights of your clients and the fairness towards your client and what happens to the people when your client decides to get back on the road. So the first one of these was in November of 2020. And then the second one, I don't even know if I wrote down the date, but it was a short amount of time between, and these are only the ones that we have caught Mr. Adams on the road when he was drinking. There's probably been tons of other times where he made it home and thank God nobody was hurt. But we've had whole families in this county, not just once, not just twice, but multiple times. We've had whole families killed by drunk drivers. And it would be crazy of me to not keep you under some kind of supervision. I know judges in other counties who you'd be doing 3 years straight, consecutive, one after the other.
I understand, Your Honor.
I mean, I'm just saying, we got, Clayton County, we have the same issues as everybody else, but y'all get, I believe the sentences, just judging from what I look at across the state and when I meet with other judges, we probably give much more lenient sentences because we're trying to understand people's issues. And while Mr. Adams, I understand that you are what I would call an alcoholic, I can only understand your needs so much before I have to put the needs of the community before yours. And I can't allow you to get out here and kill somebody. I just really can't. I don't know that this will stop that from happening, but at least we can alcohol test you, drug test you. There are things that we can do to see if you're on the right track. And if you're not, then I can pull you back in. But, this whole, you get 2 back-to-back DUIs with high points, blood alcohol, and then we just gonna let you back on the road?
Are you asking me personally?
I mean, I'm just saying, this is my feeling. So you get to talk too. I don't think that you can't speak to me because I'm not that high and mighty. What I want to know is, I just cannot, in all good conscience, just give you 12 months.
Which is understandable, and my lawyer explained that situation to me, but this is not a practice of mine. In both cases, really, literally, I was like on my way home from work. And
you drinking at work?
No, of course not. No. Like in both cases, look, in one case, I was actually taking somebody less than 5 minutes away from my home, and the so-called victim actually hit my vehicle. She was cited with the ticket. She was found at fault, but from what my lawyer explained to me, she was considered the victim. But she actually was cited with the ticket. And I parked my vehicle because my vehicle was literally in walking distance from the office. And that's where we pulled into. And I explained my story to the officer, and she was found at fault. And then the officer asked me, I was really just giving my girlfriend at the time, because she didn't have a license, a ride to work, which was less than 5 minutes away from.
Okay. All that being said, Mr. Adams, you blew a 0.5. I mean, your blood was 0.26.
Right.
So during all that you just explained to me, you were drunk. 0.08 legal limit. You were 3 times the legal limit, and you're trying to justify to me why you understand, but so that's alcohol talking. That's alcoholism talking. I understand, but you have yet to acknowledge that you got a real problem. I know people who go their whole lives from birth to 80 and don't get a DUI. I know people who go their whole lives from birth to 80 who don't have a drink. But here you are faced with spending a substantial amount of time in jail, risking your job, risking your livelihood. And you like, oh yeah, well, see, I was good. I was just taking my girlfriend at the time because she didn't have a license. Let's skip all over the fact that you are 3 times the legal limit. Let's skip all over the fact on the next one that you almost 4 times the legal limit.
Right.
You're pickling yourself. Mr. Adams, you got to be functioning at those levels. You have got to be a long-term drinker where you have built up a tolerance. And I'm not talking about what I heard. 2 of my favorite uncles, both of whom have died, but 2 of my favorite uncles, alcoholics, as my grandmother would say, stomp down alcoholics. So I know you don't get behind the wheel of a car and function at 0.26 if you haven't been drinking steadily, daily, every day. You probably got alcohol in your system right now. Don't do it, because I'll pull you in and test you today. And then if you test for alcohol, then you're going to jail. So don't even test me on that.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I'm pretty clear. I can look at your lips and tell you drink. You got drinker's lips. You know where that little purple spot right there, where your lips lighten right there, where the bottle hits? I can tell you drink just by looking at you. I'm just saying. So let's get these sentences done, and let's see how you do, because you're going to test. And if you mess up, it's jail time. Okay, I'm going to assure you of that right now. We're clear.
yes.
Now, Mr. Adams, just
Yes,
from
ma'am.
the standpoint of you as a person, how old are you?
Just about to be 41 in 1 month.
Okay, you're way younger than me. But what I'm telling you is life gets better when you're doing it the right way. But you might not even make it to there unless you acknowledge the fact that A, you're an alcoholic, B, you need some serious treatment for alcoholism, and C, you probably need to put yourself into a program. Unfortunately, I don't have that to offer you right now, but you probably could use an inpatient program. Because I promise you, yours is the second highest point value I've seen on a blood alcohol test. The other one was a 0.4 something. And that man had been drinking like his whole life. You 41, and yet you were able to sustain a 0.358. That means you have been straight up drinking every single day. Your liver has probably holes in it. You won't last much longer. I'm going to tell you what I know. Like I said, I lost 2 uncles. One, esophageal cancer, because drinking all that alcohol, going down your esophagus, head and neck cancers. #1 killer. The second one, all kinds of stuff. He had high blood pressure. He had diabetes. He had all kinds of untreated things. Died in his bed. We missed him, hadn't heard from it, went over, found him dead in his bed. Why am I telling you all this? Because I'm looking at you and I see my Uncle Reggie right there. Nicest person in the world. No value judgment on the content of your heart. Nicest person in the world, but had a problem with alcohol. Never treated it, died. Uncle Ronald, love him to this day. Funniest, nicest man you would ever see. Had a problem with alcohol, dead. Miss him every single day. So before this happens to you, I'm telling you, doesn't matter what I do to you. What matters is how you treat yourself. And if you don't take the opportunity to treat yourself better, you're not going to be here. Do you have kids?
Yes.
Do you have your affairs in order?
Yes.
You sure? Because they're going to have to deal with that. Are they young kids?
No. My oldest one is 17. My youngest is 4.
That's young. So you're talking about a 4-year-old not having a father in their life. Maybe about, I'm going to give you until they reach middle school. You've got to do something. And I know it sounds like I'm being mean, but I'm really telling you what our family experienced. If you don't treat it, your body's not going to hold up. You got rockers, the Rolling Stones, they did hard drugs their whole youth, probably from the time they were like in their teens to the time they were in their 50s. They might still be doing them. They still alive. But alcohol, they don't let you live like that. Alcohol will kill you quicker than hard drugs, just based on what we see. If you manage not to overdose, you're going to be here. Hard drugs, but if you drink every day, you're not going to be here. All right. So what's the recommendation, Mr. Yedem? Okay. That's only 12 months, right?
Your Honor, the The second case, which is 2023 CL 0698, that will be 12 months to serve 30 days. The balance will be probated, which will run consecutive with the count one for the case number 2021 CL 04501.
Okay, so
understand
that's
with-
12 months. I mean, that's 24 months, yes.
Yes.
And then the jail time, though, okay, so my understanding, Your Honor, is that the jail time would run concurrent on both cases, so 30 days total, but that the probations would run consecutive.
Yes.
All right,
Additionally, Your Honor, Mr. Adams, and I spoke with the state, he's requesting to serve his time on the weekends. He does work full-time. He's missing work right now. He understands, however, that this court case takes priority. But he does want to try to keep his job. He understands that he likely will not be able to, considering the fact that he does drive for work. But again, Your Honor, and we've had that discussion in depth.
wait, whoa. What does he do?
Mr. Adams, I'm not, what do you?
Auto care technician.
Ooh, boy.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Adams.
It's not long term. It's not over.
I know,
I don't know.
you move cars from one place into the service area and back out. I get it.
Right.
All right, so you'll have a total of 30 months of probation, and you will complete all of the requirements of probation. If you come back on a probation revocation, then we'll have a different discussion. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Was he on a, did he have a bench warrant set aside? I mean, a bench warrant, because my understanding is he is showing wanted.
He did, Your Honor. And then I also just wasn't clear on the jail time.
I suspended the second 30 days. So he'll serve the first 30 days. The second 30 days is suspended unless he messes up.
And is Your Honor allowing him to serve on weekends?
That's a lot of weekends. All right, so you'll start serving weekends as of not this Friday, but
The 20th, Your Honor, I believe it's the next Friday.
yeah, 20th. You'll turn yourself in between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Friday the 20th, and you'll get out the following Sunday. All right, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Adams, I promise you, nothing I do to you is going to be worse than what you do to yourself if you don't get a hold of your alcoholism, sir. All right? I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael is going to give you instructions regarding probation. Anything that you need to ask him specific to your situation, please make sure you cover that. Otherwise, you don't have to come back to the courtroom once you have talked to Mr. Carmichael. You just do what he directs you to do, okay?
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Adams, I hope that you get better. I really do.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.
You too. All right, next